Can you imagine how much wine you could bring back from there? No customs officer would ever think of that. This is where they started using diamond coating. Hello, this is Caravan RV Travel Company. Winnebago Voyage 2730 RL. Winnebago is the coolest American off-road trailer manufacturer after Grand Design. Winnebago, no matter what size it is, small or large, it always has 2 axles, and inside, of course, it's like outer space. You know, it's all about the layout. Grand Design has a similar layout, and this trailer's interior is just like that Grand Design. This trailer has 2 sliders, 2 slide-out walls. And thanks to these sliders, which are placed opposite each other, we get such a huge living room. The trailer is actually divided into 2 parts. This is the private area, the owner's bedroom in the trailer. And then there's this big living room for socializing. And just how important is that? How great is it to sit with friends? At a table like this, for example. By the way, this table right here can actually be swapped out for a much bigger one as an option. This little table here. But really, you can fit a great group of friends here. The living room is just what you need. And also, check this out. There's a cool feature. So, attention to anyone who wants to travel with us. To Georgia for the caravan trip we're planning this spring. Can you imagine how much wine you could bring back from there? No customs officer would ever suspect a thing. Well, of course, that's a joke, but still, look at this cool, unusual, hidden storage spot. Next up is the fridge, a double-door one like this. The freezer is unbelievably huge. The stovetop has 3 burners. There's an oven and a microwave. By the way, the microwave doesn't just cook food with microwaves, but also with regular convection, regular heat. So it actually has 2 functions. It's an interesting design choice. Black and white. There's plenty of storage space in the kitchen. The kitchen is set up in a corner like this, and it's right across from the door. That's a good solution too. Let's say you parked somewhere out in nature. There's a lake here, mountains, a forest. You open the door, and you start cooking. Cooking with the door open. There's storage space here, that's obvious. And it's actually good that there are no soft close mechanisms. Some people like them, some don't. But those soft close mechanisms are unnecessary. The heating in this trailer is both gas and electric. You can heat it either with gas or with electricity. Let's say you arrive at a campsite in winter. Why waste your own gas? Just plug in electricity and heat the place using an external power source. By the way, I forgot to mention that the kitchen's countertop space can be expanded with this kind of little shelf. Let's move on. Let's take a look at the bathroom. There's a sink, a wash basin with some counter space on the right, a toilet, and a shower. The bedroom's very comfortable. So what makes it comfortable? The thing is, most trailers have this aerodynamic slope. But here, the ceiling height has been raised. Usually the ceiling height is like this, but here it's higher. So the aerodynamic slope isn't as steep, which means you can sit here and read something, I don't know, your iPhone, iPad, watch something. In short, you don't have to lie down, you can sit. And thanks to the higher ceiling, they've made the space here much bigger. So here's a storage space, a wardrobe of some sort. There's an air conditioner here, but even if there isn't, this is the perfect spot to install a floor-standing air conditioner, which isn't expensive. Sometimes there's no air conditioner here, and the rooftop ones are really expensive, about 250,000 rubles. But a floor-standing one, like an LG, only costs about 20 to 25,000. Here they started using a diamond coating to protect against stones. So basically, any little stone won't leave any marks at all. And here as well, there's this diamond coating. I don't know why it's called diamond. It's not real diamond, but some kind of synthetic material. Still, the description says it has a diamond coating. There's underbed space where you could practically fit an elephant. And then right here, honestly, I'd probably mount some kind of TV holder. And when we're parked for a long time, I'd hang it up here. And here's the power supply for it too. And even if it starts raining, the awning will definitely protect it, so it won't get wet. All right, next up, the slider. The slider. I want to remind you again that all American trailers come with an awning that extends with an electric motor. Why don't they have these kinds of awnings in Europe? Because here the frame is aluminum, but in Europe it's wooden. And in Europe it's impossible to attach it to the walls, but here it's possible. That's why you don't need 3 or 4 people to install the awning or somehow screw it in. That's how Europeans do it. And the most interesting thing is, if the wind picks up and it starts vibrating, it will retract by itself. That's also important to understand. And for those who don't know what an American trailer is, all American trailers don't have a cassette toilet like in Europe. The cassette is 20 liters, but the holding tank for the toilet is 140, 140, or even 160 liters. Basically, the sewage system here is perfected, just like you have at home. But we have separate videos about that. What's the difference between European and American principles? Please check those out if you're not familiar. All right, let's move on. To the back. There's a ladder for servicing the solar panels, if you have them. But instead of solar panels, it's actually best to set up a platform here for a built-in generator. Because a built-in generator is always better than solar panels. These walls are made of composite materials, which have very low sound and heat conductivity. So if the generator is running here, you can barely hear it. Next, on this side, there's also a slide out. And inside it, there's a large storage space, so you don't have to keep things like onions or potatoes inside. You come back from the supermarket with a cart, dump everything in here, whatever doesn't need to go in the fridge. And honestly, this storage space is really convenient for that. Now let's talk about the price of this trailer. So look, it's $59,000, but normally it was $41,000 crossed out, and now it's $39,000. That's a special discount from the dealer here at the show. Basically, the price for it is between $39,000 and $40,000. Well, this has been Damva Dorogu, Home on the Road with you. Let me remind you that we not only sell trailers and motorhomes, and we do it successfully, but just imagine, delivering equipment like this from the other side of the world requires experience and professionalism. So we not only sell Dacia trailers and motorhomes, but we also organize trips with Dacia trailers and motorhomes all over the world. Next year, we have a winter trip to Tabbert. It's the Northern Lights, the Russian Northern Lights. Then in spring and summer, we have Georgia. And after that, the east and west coasts of the USA.
Our company invites you on an incredibly interesting journey across the USA in motorhomes. You won't just see what others have seen, like in a travel cloud. You'll see for yourself what you'll experience next year. Caravanning is, above all, a tool for visiting interesting places. The Library of Congress of the USA, and got to know not only New York, Niagara Falls, Washington, Atlanta, the birthplace of Disneyland in Orlando, the Kennedy Space Center, relaxed in Miami, and we managed to do all this relatively easily in 3 weeks, which is practically impossible if you use hotels and a regular car. But we also got acquainted with the world's most advanced technologies in the field of motorhomes and travel trailers. This is the Type 3 motorhome offered for rent, or you can travel here with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people. For this trip is on the website. Guys, we're in a state of suspended animation. Right here, this is one of the best beach spots in the world. Right now, they're parking us. Look, each and every spot has this kind of view. These motorhomes are true masterpieces. Every motorhome, every trailer is a work of art. We're caravanning. Here are all our motorhomes. Well, 2 are missing. 2 are out driving somewhere. If you take a picture of each trailer, you get a real still life that you could hang on the wall. And let me warn you right away. If you're not joining us on our tour of the East Coast of the USA, that is, if you're not coming with us and there are children nearby, please have them leave the room and absolutely do not let them watch this segment. Otherwise, you'll start having problems like, Dad, I want to go to Orlando. We will be staying at the Creek Fire Campground. It's approximately 20 minutes from downtown Savannah. Most of us are still in shock from what we've seen.